I think of personal branding in the staffing industry, there's really no one better than the Staffing Shark. Today, we got the Staffing Shark with us. Shark, I gotta ask, where the heck did that name even come from?
My man, you know what? Everybody asks that, Brad. So, hey, thanks for having me on the show, brother. I'm pumped up for this. But it's kind of funny. Back in the day, Richard Rosner, the branch manager, was okay. Yeah. But I was like, I need to get myself a brand back in like 2018. What's going to make me different? And can't make this up. Sitting at the beach, I'm drinking Land Shark beer. Seriously, this is true stuff, man. It's true shit. Yeah. I have to say it like that. So, yeah, I'm looking at the ocean. I'm thinking, I need something that rhymes. And I'm thinking, okay, I want to bring the Kenny Chesney vibe to the industry with flip-flops and this. I was like, nobody has this, because every time I go to a conference, I see the same thing, khakis and that. And we'll get to that later. But the people, the branding is what it's all about. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, the ocean's there. I'm thinking, and I've seen like something that looks like a shark. I'm thinking, I'm drinking Land Shark beer. Why not the Staffing Shark? Always on the hunt, never sleeps, and drinks Land Shark beer. There it is.
It's like the stars aligned, right? It's almost like you didn't even have to work for that one. It just sort of struck you.
I think after about 4 beers, it really hit me then. I was like, holy cow. And you know what's funny is I didn't do this in the beginning. I was kind of like, I'm going to be honest with you, a little fearful. I didn't know if it was going to take off. I got to tell everybody out there, you got to go for your brand. You know who pushed me? My mom and dad. They're like, you are the shark. Yeah. You're doing it. The DLC and roll.
You know what's interesting? We were talking at Naps, and I forget who said it, but we were sitting at dinner with a group of guys, and somebody mentioned the fact that they didn't even know what your name was. They just knew you as the shark, and they actually asked you what your name was at the dinner table.
It's funny, Brad, but when you see me go to these conferences, dude, people will touch me, and my friends are like, they touch you and they say shark and they walk away with this energy. It's like you're the He-Man of the, they just get this, they touch you like a stone. It's like, but you know what? That's what I'm here for, man. We'll talk about today being kind and just loving life, man, with your brain.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. I mean, anytime I've seen you, anytime I've talked to you, even, to get you on the show here and message you on LinkedIn or shoot you an email, it's always, hey, Shark. I never call you by your first name. But that is exactly what we're talking about. It's thinking through, how can you develop such a strong, concrete personal brand that it just takes over who you are, but it's also true to you. And I want to talk about that. So when we think about personal branding, we don't want to be anything other than what we already are. And I think you embodied that perfectly, right? You were drinking a Land Shark on the beach, Kenny Chesney flip-flops. You're not being anything other than who you are, right?
Myself. That's it, man. And that's what I think with your personal brand, you got to be you.
Yeah.
In this day and age in staffing, which is so, anything goes now.
Yeah.
People rely on a brand. They don't care who Richard Rosner, the recruiter, is. But if they see the Staffing Shark or the shark, the job agent's going to represent me, that's a different character. I mean, you could be the redhead recruiter or whatever. Sign your brand.
It's, what is it, Dr. Seuss? Today you are you. That's truer than true. There's no one alive who's youer than you, right? And if you try to be somebody that you're not, people pick up to that so fast, right? And if you try to craft this brand or be somebody you're not, whether it's online or at a conference or whatever it might be, people can sniff that out pretty fast. And what I love about you, man, is you're the shark, and it feels authentic because it is authentic. So let's talk briefly. If someone's listening right now and they're thinking, I know who the shark is. I've heard about personal branding. I know I need a personal brand in 2024. Where do you suggest someone get started?
I think the biggest thing is video, and you probably agree on this. You got to get started with video. I mean, your brand could be your name. It don't have to be the shark. It don't have to be Brad or whatever. It could be something that's fun. Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest thing is, to get your brand built, you got to bring content that is creative. My mentor is Gary V. And I trust all his stuff, and I love it. Like it or not, but he keeps it real, and I think that's where I keep it in line too. That if you're a recruiter, you got to put stuff out there. If you see, Brad, any of my content, I never put now hiring. I never put even a jobs. It's about me being a character with my logo, and then they insinuate that to my Facebook or any of my other platforms. And I think that's where we have to be in 2024. We can't sell. We got to be genuine and give them something back. It's not about us. It's about them. And when you think that way, the brand will just roll.
I think as an industry, as a stereotype, we're constantly looking for action. I need applications now. business is struggling. I need orders now. So every social post, every email, every phone call, every handshake is, hey, you got anybody I can talk to? Hey, you know anyone who's hiring? Hey, you know anybody who's looking for work? And we're always constantly trying to punch people in the face with that ask. We're trying to get somebody to do something. And Shark, I'm all in on what you're saying here. We need to provide value. If we can share great videos, great content, whatever it might be, people will come to us organically. People will find us organically. And I can't speak to that enough. I'm with you 100%.
100%. And the thing is, though, you got to have intention. That's the number one thing in 2024 in a personal brand is attention. Yep. And how do you get that? It's not by yourself. It's by other people. If you see most of my content, I'll do cartoon characters now. You know, I got something to come out with the Barbie. Me looks, you know, with pink hair and stuff. It's being fun and engaging that. And I think that's something that we have to realize in 2024. Just going up there and putting a post out there, Brad, of you just saying, oh, I got 20 jobs, I got 30 jobs, is not cutting it. And I see what's out there in the industry, and the personal brand is not there. I think some people think this is the personal brand, but there's no wrong way about a personal brand. I got to tell you that. There's no wrong way. You just got to do it.
Right. I see post after post after post of, hey, we're hiring. Here's another job. Here's another job. And actually, I ran some data back in October. So I posted on LinkedIn 22 times in the month of October. And to you, that might seem light. To me, it was about one a day. And it was very strategic. And I kept a calendar on my desk, and I was strategic. And okay, today's going to be a video. Tomorrow will be a link. Tomorrow will be a graphic, whatever it is. And I was very, very meticulous with it. What I found is actually images performed the best for me specifically. And I'll speak to that in a second. What performed worst is if I just grabbed a link with nothing else, just grabbed a blog link, just grabbed a job link, just grabbed even sharing from the Haley marketing page, just sharing a company post over to my page, but not adding any sort of commentary. It didn't do anything. And video was sort of systematically right in the middle. Every video sort of did the same. It got its impressions. It did really well. But the top 3 images that I posted were a progression of me speaking about 5 or 6 years ago and what my setup looks like now. It was a picture of me and Steve Gibson at the Naps booth. And it was a picture of me squatting in the gym. So completely unrelated to staffing.
There it is.
Personal branding, right? It's who are you? What makes you unique? And what do people care about?
Exactly. And I think the big thing in our industry, I got to say it, our marketing is a little bit behind. If we follow the Netflix, the Chick-fil-A, dude, they got marketing down pat. And I study that stuff, you know, and I always say even thumbnails. I don't see anybody in our industry, and I'm doing this now. I'm pointing at you. I'm saying you. I'm talking to you. People don't do that. They're just putting a picture of their self out there with no character, with maybe a slogan. Get yourself involved in it. You know, I mean, you got Canva now. You got so many different things. We got, for 2024, you got to make it about them, but use the captions. I mean, like I said, look at the best performers on LinkedIn and YouTube and follow them. They all have thumbnails, Brad. You know that.
Yeah. They do, and they A/B test thumbnails. They're looking at what works, what doesn't. They're studying other creators, what works, what doesn't. But that can be a lot. So let's actually pump the brakes there for a second. And you mentioned Canva.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about somebody listening right now that's saying, okay, I'm catching the wave that these guys are on. I'm swimming in the water with the shark right now, and I understand I need a personal brand, but it's just me, a solo recruiter, or it's just me, a recruiter in a middle tier staffing agency in Buffalo, New York, right? There's a lot going for us, but we don't have a marketing team. We don't have assets to use. I can't call on people. I'm bought into what you're saying, Shark, but how do I actually execute on it? What do I do? Talk to us.
I think some of the big things, if you're on Canva or anything like that, just put your thoughts down. Okay. I mean, put what's going on that day. What I do is coffee. I do a lot of coffee pictures of me and, sure. If I'm at Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, start putting content that you believe in. Believe it or not, all my content is myself. Yeah. It's me, myself, and I. So I'm with all you out there too. Nobody else does my content yet. It's going to be coming to probably 2024. I might need some more help now as I grow. Yep. But right now, everything is me. You'll see the thoughts, the slogans is all me. So put a slogan out there, how you're feeling that day. Yeah. If you're a little bit having a down day, throw something up there with, that will inspire you. I'm going to tell you one thing, Brad. When you put posts up there, it makes you feel good. And the thing I got to tell everybody out there, do not worry about the likes and the follows. you stay away from that. I know everybody talks about that.
Yeah.
It's about the engagement. If I get 7 people to follow me and 3 people's engaging with me with DMs, dude, I'm winning. I'm crushing it.
Yeah. So there's a couple things there. One, the dopamine that kicks in when you post on social media is real, right? It is like a drug.
It's better than a gym sometimes. It's a pump.
It really is. And when a piece of content starts to go viral or gets a little momentum, it is exciting. But to the Shark's point, we can't only focus on that. We need to focus on value. And 2, you alluded to a point that I've been sort of thinking about a lot lately is sort of the impact of being a micro influencer. And at your stage, you're probably a little bit bigger than a micro influencer, but for a lot of individuals listening right now who are just getting started, how can you influence 5 to 7 people with every post? What can you do to stop thinking about going viral and reaching 1 million people, but how can you reach 57 people in Buffalo, New York, who genuinely care about your hiring advice, that genuinely care about your career growth advice? That to me, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot, Shark, that to me is where we need to be. We need to stop thinking about, I want 1 million or I want 2 million people to listen to me. I want 57 people to listen to me. And then I want 50 of them to apply to my open jobs this week because they're so passionate about who I am. They work with me. They know me so well that they have to partner with me. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. And I still do that. The micro to the macro, that you start small and everything's micro with me. And then it goes macro, because tap into your area. If I'm in West Virginia right now, I'm tapping into WVU sports, everything.
Yep.
You got to tap into your community, Brad. And that's the thing with anybody branding yourself. Brand your community first and don't think about everything else. We love the influencers on TV and we talk about the big ones. You know what? Take a little bit of their tidbits, but then also tap into the community. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Everybody, I always say this, when you get somebody hired, this, put a picture with you and them together. You see that the Shark Shake is what got me on the map. Yeah. It's like everybody gets hired by me, it's a handshake.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm in it with them because we're teamwork. So anywhere you go, if it's a restaurant, and I just was at a restaurant a couple days ago, having a beer, and 2 of the waiters there actually, reached out to me on LinkedIn. We got a picture, and I'm going to try to find them a job. Just like that over talk.
Just like that.
And they call me the Shark too now. So it's like, it's amazing how you can do all this very easily, organically in your town.
Yep. It's authentic. It's you. It's being human. It's doing what our industry knows is true. It's being human and putting great people to work and great opportunities. What I love about the thought of, being a micro influencer or getting started is there really is a low barrier to entry, right? When you think about the production value in your pocket with your iPhone, friends, we live in the absolute greatest era ever. If you want to be a content creator, all that you need. And if you're watching on YouTube, you see me and the Shark, we have some nice expensive microphones. We do have nice cameras as well. I'm sure, I have a backlight. I'm sure you do too. But all you need genuinely is an iPhone and maybe a $10 tripod from Amazon.
You know what? You see me at the conferences. What? I have a $30 tripod and my old Droid, which I'm getting the iPhone soon. So look out. The Shark's gonna be crazy with the iPhone. But all joking aside, and look, I do the Shark clips like that.
Yeah.
And they get 6,000 to 7,000 impressions just on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And look at the advice app. No, there's no lighting or nothing like that. We're winging with whatever we got.
Yep.
There's no microphone, which will be coming later. It's just very basic. And we're getting the views. So that's what I'm saying. I think something else, Brad, I like to tell the audience is get on the streets and interview people. I mean, interview people about jobs or interview about the economy or something like that. People love that kind of stuff. That is going to get you out there more than you just talking about yourself and thinking. Get everybody involved. The more people you get involved, the more views you'll have, the more it'll just take off. And then you'll feel happy about yourself because you got new friends.
Exactly right. So what I love about what you're alluding to is creating content that resonates with people, speaks to what they're looking for, speaks to their pain points, but also has personalization in the sense of it's you interviewing, it's you talking to people, you're giving your take, right? Friends, we can all Google the state of the economy. We can all Google unemployment in Buffalo, New York. We can all look at who's hiring in Buffalo, New York, or hiring trends or any of that. That is all at our fingertips. Heck, we can even, I can't say her name out loud, we could ask Sismexa what the hiring report is or anything from BLS, and she'll give that to us. what the Shark and I are alluding to with personal branding is creating a brand that's so strong that people want to know what you have to think about a given topic, what you think about hiring in Buffalo, New York, what you think about hiring trends in Buffalo, New York. And where the Shark's talking about going out and interviewing people, getting on the streets, talking to individuals, talking to employers, finding all that out. It's creating a community where you're controlling the messaging. And again, this data is all accessible online, but you're bringing it with your spin to other individuals.
Exactly. And I love what you said there, Brad. And then something else to allude on is pretty much restaurants. When I go into restaurants now, I'll call them up and say, hey, can I do this a review with you? Can I interview you for like a 2 minutes? You talk about your cannolis and give me maybe a free coffee. Then you post that. They have 7,000 likes on Facebook.
Yep.
Guess what? They're going to share that.
Yeah. Sharing
is caring. I think that's the biggest way. If you want to grow your platform, you got to share and care. And if you do that, the rest is history. But one thing I want to jump on is the platforms. If you're on LinkedIn, Brad, and that's it, LinkedIn, it's great, but you're losing out. LinkedIn is, it's awesome, but I'm going to use the L. You're losing out because all other platforms, you got to be on Facebook. You got to be on the X. You got to be on Insta, TikTok. I mean, meetup.com is another great one to tap into the clients and candidates. And I'll be honest, in the industry, I see people on LinkedIn who have 30,000. On Facebook, they got like 6. They're missing the thing. You know what I mean? You got to roll with all of them, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do think that it's difficult to jump into multiple platforms if it's just you. And that's where the Shark is alluding to having a good process in place, right? So using Canva to create those graphics, if you want to use that, using a scheduling tool, maybe it's like Net Social from Haley Marketing to schedule your content. Yep, to multiple platforms and getting it out to other individuals or other platforms rather. But thinking through strategically how you're going to utilize each platform. If you don't mind, I want to back up for a second because we caught a wave and I want to actually swim back and catch another one with you. So you had talked about how the Shark Shake, right? So your Shark Shake is well known, right? To the point where everyone who meets you knows the shake's coming, right? If you're at a conference, if you're going to take a picture with somebody, how the shake goes, right? But what I love about the shake is there's more to it. So there's a level of social proof. There's a level of, let's call it maybe not so much a testimonial, but when someone takes a picture with you, you're in it, they're in it, it's authentic. What I see time after time after time, when I look at reviews or testimonials throughout this great industry, we have 7 to 8 words. We're not attributed them to anybody. They're not attributed to a company. There's no logo. There's no face. There's nothing. So at the end of the day, when somebody's looking at that on their device, they're thinking, this is made up. I don't believe this. What am I doing here? What I love about the Shark Shake is it's real. It's human. You're showing the candidate, the client, whoever it might be, but it's so authentic that it stops people in their tracks.
And thank you for that. And it's so true. You'll see me. My mouth is open. It's high energy, every shake. And you know what? That's me 24/7. Life is too short. You got to enjoy it. I mean, and there's people, believe it or not, at staffing world will come to me and say, hey, Shark, can you get a picture with me so I can just post on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
It was funny. People were even advertising me on there saying, come down. I got a picture with the Shark. It's like, but you know what? It's that hope and energy because anybody that has contact with me, and it's not about me, but it's like, I just want to bring energy to people, excitement and hope that you can be the best you can be. And I think if you bring that with your brand, everybody has to bring that trust. They're like, how do you build trust? We hear this over and over in all the presentations. It's being yourself, being genuine. Yep. There's no trick to being trustworthy.
I couldn't agree more. And a common theme throughout this entire episode is authenticity, being genuine, being true to yourself, creating a brand that is just as much who you are offline as you are online, and not being anything other than what you already are. When I think about the content I create, it's who I am, right? I love talking about marketing, whether it's in the staffing industry, whether it's rockstar marketing and what I'm seeing outside the industry. I love professional lacrosse. I still work in professional lacrosse, so I love talking about that as well. That's what you're going to get. And I'm okay if you don't want to hear about any of that, not subscribing to me. And that's okay. But that is who I am. And that's what you're going to get. And every now and again, you're probably going to get a tweet about the Bills because that's also who I am. And Shark, that's it. It's understanding, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to talk about. This is my lane. And I want to build this community of people that care about that kind of content.
You know what? You summed it up. And I make it simple here. Okay, so Kenny Chesney, I'm going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody sees him or likes him. You see how his parties are. You see how, if you can look at that in your mind and say, that's how I want to build my brand, just like a singer, your favorite singer, pick it out there. Why does people go to a concert? Why? They're attracted to that attention, right? Why do they like the songs? I mean, seriously, it comes down to branding. Here's a quick one. Why Nike? Why do you buy Nike stuff? Do you buy because you like the shoe? Yeah, you like the shoe. But it's all about the swoosh too, you know? And Nike sells itself. So if you could sell yourself like the Shark or whatever as your brand, you know what? You don't have to even be better than the other person. Once you build that trust in that brand, everybody's just going to follow you and stay with you because you're legit.
Yeah, I totally agree, right? You think about looking at Gen Z, you look at just if you go to Walmart right now and just observe what a younger demo is wearing, it's all what they're seeing on TikTok. It's what they're seeing on Instagram. It's what other individuals in their circle are wearing and talking about, right? And I get that. But where I think this stems then to staffing and recruiting is, what are your followers doing? And what do people that they relate to care about, right? So if you're building this community, how do you bring people in? And then how do you build like-mindedness to bring more people in, right? And ultimately, Shark, to your point, it's building that brand. It's building that trustworthy brand that people care about, that people want to learn more about.
Exactly. And it don't have to be, on social media all the time. It could be the grassroots. I mean, I got big flyers out there in the softball. I support 2 softball teams, girls, so when you hit a home run, it goes over the Shark sign. That's building community, I think something else in branding that real quick, that Please. Get on these talk shows, get on the local newspaper, tell them you want to do something there. That's free publicity for you. That'll get you to the next level. Everybody in the town reads the newspaper, no matter what, if it's digital or not. They know what's going on. The word spreads in small towns, Brad, very quickly.
It does.
So if you can dominate that, which I'm going to tell you, a lot of staffing firms don't. They every time I go into a location, I'll be honest with you, they say, Shark, when are you leaving? Because it's like you're taking over the whole town within 6 months. But I'm just demanding and giving back a service to the community. And I think that's what the brand's about. We're putting people to work, and we're finding clients and candidates. So we're just giving back.
Yeah. And when you reach out to a company like that or an organization like that, you reach out to the newspaper, at the end of the day, they're all looking for stories. They're looking for things to write about, and having sort of a column about hiring trends, the economy, what's going on in your landscape as it relates to job seekers, hiring managers, opportunities, the ability to place individuals in Buffalo. They want columns like that because it's going to create readership, right? So having somebody to call on when they have those questions is fantastic. I want to ask you about 2024. So I want you to think about sort of the year to come. Where do you see content going?
I think content, I'm going to say it again, and I just said it earlier, attention. You have to grab attention. I think the content now is so flooded with, you have ChatGPT, so you can put generic organic stuff out there. We're going back to the roots of the human connection. Yeah. And if you can tap into that, we always say, how do you tap into community connection? We just gave that. Tap into your community. That's the number one peeps. Yeah. And everybody you tap into, put QR codes out on the back of your phone, scan it so they can be your friend. Say, hey, invite me. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to say no. They're going to say yes. That's how you build your brand. And I think in staffing and recruiting, people want that. I mean, why are they going to stay with you instead of somebody else? You got to bring the trustworthy. You got to be loyal. You can't burn a bridge. Yes. Is there going to be content that you think is the best? I got to tell you, there's some content I put out there I thought was be great. It never went anywhere, Brad. Yeah. And then the stuff I put out there, I'm thinking it just goes viral and stuff so all I can say is in a day, put everything out there you believe in, but think about everybody else first. Yeah, and I think 2024 is going to be about video. Video's the king. MTV's coming back, man. It's all about video and fun, organic content where you're involved in it. If you don't have yourself in there as a picture, how's people going to know who you are when you're never in a picture?
I would agree with video. I think just having a personal touch to content is going to make an impact. I've seen it in my data. I've seen it in what I've been doing and what we've been talking about on this show and even on Insights, our other podcast here at Haley. I'm interested to hear your answer on this. Are you using any sort of AI as it relates to your content?
Right now, just a little bit. I mean, ChatGPT is one of them. There's the, Converse AI. I tap into that sometimes.
Okay.
I do everything on Hero Post is where I post everything out at. I got some different ones, some tunes and different things like that I use, that I can, anybody needs anything, just reach out to me and I'll let you know. But, most of my content, the verbiage is myself. Yeah. I mean, I'll decipher it, and stuff like that. But when you have something like yourself, heavy marketing, something where they can push it out on all different platforms, that's what you need, because just posting out by yourself on each platform. But if you get some definitely AI to help you with some of the verbiage and stuff like that, but you want to make it your own too. That's Absolutely. The thing about it. I put a twist on my emojis is another one. I'm going to tell everybody, emojis, you know how it is, Brad. Dude, you got to use emojis. I'm sorry. It's the algorithm on that is incredible, and not enough people do that. They, me, I call them peeps. You're my peeps. You're not my people. Yeah. You got to have slang words and fun things with it. And then, with me, it's a shark on everything. Did you notice that? Every time the shark emojis on everything.
I mean, it has to be, though. You're the staffing shark, right? We're not going to put something else. And it fits, again, to your brand and who you are. I've been experimenting pretty heavily with AI. I'm in it probably 2 to 3 hours a day at this point in terms of how it can help me be more efficient, how it can help me personally and professionally. On the post-production side, we have some things in place that help us with content and video and cutting things and doing what we can. But yeah, I see AI drastically helping the content creator. And not to say that it's going to replace creatives.
Never.
It's working alongside creatives so that creatives can be more creative and do different things and do higher level thinking. The last thing that we need to do here is spend time cutting intros and outros of this video, or cutting pauses or cutting gaps. We can automate that and let people do things that they're great at. Let them come up with thumbnails, let them come up with sharing images, and do the things they're fun and they're good at, right?
You're right. And with me, I do everything live. So I don't have to, hey, if you're going to drop an F-bomb, or I have people had cats on their shoulder. Life is live. I do all my stuff live. And I think sometimes you're totally right on that, Brad. So many people edit, they spend 4 hours on, is that the right thing? Yep. Stop the fear, guys, and just post it out there. Yeah. That fear thing is the biggest thing I think in 2024 we're going to have to get over. If you're going to be good at recruiting staffing, you need to show your face and get over the fear and just embrace AI. It's not here to hurt you. Yep. It's here to help you out.
Yeah. And just real quick before we get out of here, Shark, I think that pairs into, and I've talked a bit about this on Take the Stage a few times now, imposter syndrome, right? It's seeing somebody, a recruiter who wants to get into personal branding, seeing somebody like yourself or a Gary Vee or a Tim Ferriss or anybody else who's putting out, multiple posts a day, thinking, I can't do that. I can't be like those guys. I can't be like these people, but you absolutely can. And what the Shark's getting at here, and what I'm getting at, is it starts with pressing record, right? It starts with getting your iPhone, a cheap tripod, or heck, just lean it against a computer screen to get yourself started. Just press record, and maybe you don't even publish the first video or two. Just get going and think about it, right? Just get some practice reps. And then maybe that third or fourth one you go live with and you just start running with it.
100%. Or even reach out to myself. I'm sure Brad too. I mean, I'll do it at nighttime with you. We'll have a glass of wine, feel relaxed, and we'll do it. And I've done this with people with video interviews and everything like that. The fear will go away once you have somebody else to hold your hand and help you out. We're always here for that.
1,000%. Shark, before we get to our rapid fire round, if anybody is listening right now and they want to get a hold of you, they want to talk to you about growing their personal brand, they want to talk to you just to learn a little bit more about you, where can they go? Where can they find out more about the Staffing Shark?
At Staffing Shark on all platforms, pretty much. YouTube, you name it, LinkedIn, Facebook, reach out. You can be my friend on all of them. Definitely. I'll respond back to you. I'll give you my personal cell phone number. And hey, let's chat. That. I love all and serve all, and we're all here to do it together, man.
All right, man. Let's get to our rapid fire round. 3 questions
brother, let's
we
do
ask
it.
Every guest that comes on to Take the Stage. The first, one book that has changed your life.
410. So actually I have. You want me to go grab it real quick?
Yeah, please.
Let me go grab it.
If you're watching on YouTube, now's the time of the day where I tell you a joke that I don't have in mind, but the Shark's going to go grab his book here. And we're going to learn about one book that has fundamentally changed his life.
So busy, I didn't even bring it. But okay. So I got this on 410 last year. That's what I'm saying. So it's 212, The Extra Degree.
Okay.
I love this book. It's very small. Tell you what, And it just tells you about how that extra little effort will get you to the next level on everything in life. Like a split second, if I didn't even know who Brad was down the road and I bumped into him, if I didn't bump into him, well, who would I know? So it's like, it's amazing. So if you guys get a chance, I highly recommend it. It's very short to read because I'm very hyped up all the time. So big words. So, older people like ourselves, mature, can read it. But no, I'm telling you, 1 million copies it's sold. If you guys get a chance, 212 extra degree. I read it probably about 6 times a year, seriously, just to motivate myself.
Love it. Love it. All right. Question 2, 1 30-minute conversation with anybody, living or dead. Who's it going to be and why?
It would be with Sly Stallone. I'm just going to tell you why. Everybody else picks the other ones. Just what he came through at the beginning with Rocky, one of my favorite movies all time, of him getting rejected over and over, living out of his car and writing this and saying, no, you can't be the actor in this. And he's like, yes, I am. I mean, we've known the story over and over again of what happened with Rocky. I mean, how he wrote that, but still just him trying to put that in people's hands and getting denied over and over again. If that doesn't inspire you, besides the movie of what he's done in his career, like him or not, that rejection was over and over. The man was eating out of his car. I mean, tuna fish and stuff like that. So if I could sit down with somebody like that and he could overcome that in the 70s, and we have all this social media and everything now, we have nothing to complain about. There should be no way that we all can't be successful and be fulfilled in life.
Love that answer. And the last one piece of advice that you would give to somebody just starting in the staffing and recruiting industry.
I would think the biggest thing is collaboration. Ask everybody what I need to do to improve myself. I did it back in 2012. I've only been in the industry for 9.5 years, believe it or not. It's only been 9.5 years. And you know what? I've asked everybody, middle range people to the higher ones that's in the magazines. If you reach out to them, I have not had one person in the industry in 9.5 years tell me no. And I just think that ask questions, pick their brain, and then you'll become the best in 2 or 3 years. But we're all here. This is one industry where we care about each other. And I'll just say, you know what? Reach out to us. We're here for you.
Friends, he's the staffing shark, Richard Rosner. Shark, can't thank you enough for coming on and taking the stage with me. We'll see you at a conference soon, buddy.
All right, brother. Take care, man.